I can only imagine this guy's looking great and fresh as we head out to Southern Ontario. Andy Fantuz joining us, Saskatchewan Roughriders. Great. There he is. Tuz, happy Thursday. How are you?
Hey, Rod. I'm doing great, thanks. Thanks for having me on.
Welcome to the show. We're so happy to have you. I'm going to start right where I'm starting with all the Rider greats that are coming on. How's life in life after football?
Oh, it's healthy and busy, actually. Surprisingly, even when I was playing, I always seem to be busier in the off seasons. When I'm out of my routine, it seems like I get dragged in different ways. But no, life is good. I have a 1-year-old daughter now, which keeps me busy, the love of my life. So my wife and her are keeping me on my toes. So it's good.
You know, you sound exactly like doubles, and Luke is in the same boat. So are you pondering your next move? Because, you know, Darian is. I'm not sure that he even knows what he's going to do yet. He's got the luxury of time, and I think you're the same. But when you do make that next decision, what are you leaning towards?
Well, I'm already dove into my next careers. I'm running a performance training business, and we have a pain relief therapy side to it as well. And so that's keeping me really busy. I'm actually at the gym right now, so it's athletics, if you can see that. And yeah, we're just get that plug out there. No, I just happened to work out that the timing. It's 1:30 for me right now. So, but anyway, yeah, it's going really well. We got athletes of all ages, and from high school age all the way up to what we call hobby enthusiasts. Or hobby extremists in their 50s and 60s. So we have lots of clients and no shortage of business. It's good.
Andy, have you found or will you find time to be a receivers coach at high school, university, minor football level? Because I always thought technically the way you caught a football is the way everybody should be taught to catch a football. So I hope eventually you're teaching someone to catch a football, because it was just perfectly done in textbook fashion.
Oh, well, that's very kind of you to say. I don't know about all that, but football definitely gave me so much, and it's a major reason of where I am and who I am today. So there's no doubt that I want to give back. It's my time now to give back to the next generation, to share some of the successes and the fails that I had, and I do that more on a guest coach basis. I go to a lot of day camps and appearances at training camps for universities and high school practices. I do have a couple of gigs up my sleeve, but I don't want to have a spoiler right now. But I think you'll see me soon on something, and on a level working with some kids. And as far as being a full-time coach, we'll have to see. My wife's really busy, and I'm really passionate about this natural kind of transition that I did right now. So I'm into that, and I don't have enough time to be a full-time coach right now, but I try to help out when I can, and definitely do want to give back to football. So.
Go ahead, Smitty.
Andy, do you get an opportunity to go back to Western Ontario and see Greg and see some of the games?
Absolutely. I go back. I was there a few weeks ago for the alumni golf tournament. I go back at least once every training camp to help out for a day, and then I try to make as many games as I can. When I was playing, I tried to get to 1 a year, and now I'm trying to up that to 2 or 3. But it all depends on the schedule. But those guys are doing a fantastic job,
Mm-hmm.
and yeah, they're quite a well-oiled machine, I guess you could say, and they have a ton of talent. I'm actually working with a couple of the kids now, in their off season, which so I'm excited to see them how they progress next year.
Did you go to the Vanier Cup the year that they had won?
I was there. I was on the panel for Sportsnet, actually.
Oh,
so
yeah.
I did the pregame and the halftime and the postgame show.
Yeah.
But it was, what a game, what a team, what a season. Unfortunately, last year they came up a little short, but I think they'll bounce back.
That year, that was one of the strongest teams that I've ever seen in Canadian college football.
Yeah, they had it on all phases, and to shut a team down like Laval, who has been doing this for decades now, and was no slouch himself, really goes to show like just how strong they were. It's kind of reminded me a little bit of the Clemson and Alabama game. Was it last year where, both teams are undefeated and both looking good, and obviously Alabama is that team that's there every year.
Yeah.
But Clemson really had all the pieces together. So.
Yeah.
But anyway, enough about Clemson. Let's talk about Western.
No, well, I'll tell you, I'm pretty sure there would be media opportunities for you if you wanted them, Andy. The night the TiCats honored you and the TSN panel had you up in the booth, you just looked so natural and comfortable on the air there. And I'm sure coaching, as you said, will be open to you too. But as far as your time with the Riders, when the guys come on here, we've asked, what's your best memory? And we've had some pretty wild ones. Chunky Adams said every time he sacked Anthony Kelby or even touched him. Isn't that what he said, I think, guys? Some of them are different than what you think. What's your best memory as a Rider?
Wow. I would have to say the fan, like something to do with the fans, whether it would be just when I used to like to walk to the games and kind of go through the tailgating area a little bit, just try to be incognito a bit, but see some of the craziness going on, and then the people that were kind of crowded around the end zone during the warm-ups, just having a great time. The parade after we won in 2007, it was freezing cold, and there was just a great turnout, of course, as expected. I know this isn't one specific thing. For me, I guess I've been lucky enough to travel the world, and I have literally seen Rider merchandise all over the world. So that's pretty special, and I'm proud of that. I saw things in Hong Kong, in the Philippines, in Africa, in South America, in Central America, in Europe. It's pretty remarkable, and I think it's a one-of-a-kind proud tradition of followers and one of the best teams in the whole world.
Well, as you know, it's because of players like you that's the case, and the fans that we have, they come together so well. That's what makes being here special. But I will say this, just now that you're out of the game in terms of not playing, you were a star the minute you were drafted, and everything came so quick. You won a Grey Cup the next, in 2007. Have you kind of looked back and realized how fortunate you were? Some guys never win a championship. It all came to you so quick. I mean, you handled it well, and you had a great career, but some guys don't have the fortune that you had.
Well, I was lucky to have people ahead of me. Some of my mentors on the team, guys like Dominguez and Yo Murphy and DJ Flick, and those kind of guys that really, and that's just receiver position, but we had those kind of guys across the board that reiterated how lucky I was and had been playing for so long and hadn't got to that point. So I try not to take it for granted, and trust me, we won in 2007. In 2009, we came up short. 10, we came up short. 13, I came up short. 14, I came up short. So I was one out of one, and then I was 1 out of 5. So it's, I got that. I'm going to an event tonight. I got my 2007 ring, and I'm proud of that thing. And it's probably half the size of the 2013 ring that those guys got when they played us. But anyhow, you can't take these things for granted. Like, even though it's only a small league, it takes a lot of work, a lot of unity, and a lot of blood and sweat to get to that championship game and to win that cup. And you got a ton of admiration for anyone who's been there. Whether you come up short or not, everyone's putting a lot of work. But that was a special year for me and for our team and for our community. And it's something I'll never forget, and I'm sure many others won't either.
It's a great answer, Andy, and you're right. As everybody says, you remember the losses more than you remember the wins for whatever. That's the competitor in you guys. Well, this has been awesome. Great to see you. Glad it's going well. Don't be a stranger. You know you always have a home here, Andy, and good luck with whatever you decide to do.
Thank you. Can I add one thing? I overheard Mr. Chick talking some trash about basketball, and geez, like I got to give it to him. He was an average basketball player. He wasn't the glaring weak link like he was in cards and board games. So I
mind games,
in basketball, but. I just wanted to make sure that everyone knew that. But thanks for having me on. I really appreciate your time. And,
you got
I look
him.
forward to coming out there.
Thank you, Andy. Wow. See, now he's got all the charm, the camera. What they say, the hops and the huge hands. Yeah, look at that, Andy. Fire and blazes as we go here. Okay, you can. How about that, Andy Fantuz, gentlemen? We're kind of seeing these guys a little different. RV, you said it yourself. Andy never, I think, gave one interview like that when he was playing. And Chick yesterday was a literal Don Rickles, a literal Jerry Seinfeld on the air yesterday.
Yeah, that was very cool and very funny. And it's a side that I think a lot of players kind of, when they have to be so careful of what they say, especially in the social media world where the slightest thing can be retweeted and twisted and everything. I think there's that natural caution that is exercised perhaps more than ever. But then when there's no consequences to having a little fun, you see a bit of the true side. And it was a lot of fun talking to. I enjoyed talking to Andy when he played. He was a guy who I always found he tried really hard to give you a thoughtful answer, and he didn't give a lot of cliches. And I loved watching him play, and I always enjoyed talking to him. And that conversation didn't change that perception at all.
What a player that kid was. I had an opportunity to scout the NFL when he was down there. Went to a game at Soldier Field that he played, and obviously had some pretty good interest in watching him. And he did a great job while he was down there. I mean, he did get let go, but when he was on the field, he did a good job. He's just a solid football player, just excellent.
Sorry, Craig, can I get this in? I had a debate with a friend once. I have one, believe it or not.
A friend or a debate?
Craig is my friend. Rod is my friend. I have two. He looks like Bradley Cooper. And
a little bit.
I was adamant that he looks exactly like Bradley, or very close to Bradley Cooper. And my friend said, no. But am I not right here?
I don't know about that one.
Really?
Smitty?
I don't know.
A Star is Born, Andy Fantuz.
There's Hollywood potential here.
We'll look at the sponsor couch is full. Hands up, yes or no?
Bradley Cooper?
Bradley Cooper, Andy Fantuz? Nobody sees it.
I need to see the optometrist.
You do.
Or a specialist in another field, perhaps.
You're watching Rod Pedersen On Demand. For more of The Rod Pedersen Show, visit rodpedersen.com or follow Rod Pedersen on social media.